I was in a course this week, and one of the participants had been to have a cataract operation on her eyes for a congenital cataract condition that she'd had from birth. And so her testimony was that she'd never ever seen clearly throughout her whole life, and having had this operation, suddenly her brain was overwhelmed with the brightness of the colours of the world and was having trouble recalibrating how to see. And so she was finding it quite difficult looking into the screen because we were on the Zoom and this kind of thing. And interestingly, I was already thinking about the story for this coming Sunday, which is the story that talks about Jesus healing a man who was born blind. I said to her, "It's really interesting to hear your story because I'm preaching on the man born blind in a couple of weeks." And we laughed about that. But it did make me think, in a situation in Jesus' time, when somebody who was born blind had their sight restored, that's a pretty extraordinary thing in any time, let alone Jesus' time. And for me, that would be the story. Like, somebody who'd never seen did this little thing, and at the word of Jesus was able to go and wash their eyes and have sight for the first time. That is quite a story. But it's not the story that we get in John chapter 9, because the healing is actually a really small part of the story. There's a little bit before the healing takes place, which sets up the story, and then most of the rest of the story happens after the healing and involves the reaction of the main person, the man who was born blind, and the community around him, and all the many things that they say and do in response to the fact that he has had his sight restored. It's a pretty extraordinary, situation, and it's really clear in the way the story is told that it isn't a story about the healing, it's a story about the reaction to the healing. And there's a lot going on in there about seeing and about blindness. And that's what we'll be talking about this coming Sunday. We think we can see, right? We think we can see, and then there's stuff right in front of us and we can't see it. And we think we're blind, but actually there might be more that we can see that we know. And yeah, I think there's a massive number of people down at Darling Harbour today. I'm not sure why, but it's very interesting and noisy. So hope to see you next Sunday at Mustard Seed. Well, humanity, amazing. Imagine if you couldn't see it. God bless.